this on the comments to go through all the facts out. So no one can believe you, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the stories. Organizers of the End Hunger protest in Port Harcourt, Rivers State have said that they will convene at the Federal Secretariat along Aba Road on Monday to continue their demonstration. This is according to a meeting flyer obtained by our correspondents on Monday. The protesters had continued their protest, though the turnout was quite scanty compared to the first 3 days. They were said to have part of the Aba Road flyover with a bathtub, chanting and singing. There was, however, no DJ or musical instruments. Some of them could be heard saying that President Bola Tinubu's speech failed to address their concerns, and as such, they were ready to see out this for the full 10 days as originally planned. On Sunday, while there was a significant presence of security operatives, there was, however, no confrontation between the police and the protesters, as interactions between both parties remained cordial as before. Right here in Atlantic Television Network, we are open for advert placements, bookings and commercials, and you can connect with us and watch us also on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok Atlantic TV Network 1, on X formerly Twitter Atlantic TV Net, or watch live on our website atlanticnetwork.tv. And on to other stories. Police in Edo State have arrested 2 suspects in connection with the looted 10-kilogram bags of palliative rice stored in a packed truck at Aurora community in Ipoba, Oha local government area of Edo State. Commissioner of Police Funsho Adeboye made this known in Benin, the state capital, yesterday after a briefing on August 1st, the commencement of the nationwide strike tagged End Bad Governance. There was a 40-second viral video of residents looting rice from a truck parked in Aurora, with the resident claiming that the warehouse belonged to the Edo State Government Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Edo Chapter, Dr. Irebono Omoike. However, stated at a news conference at the Chancellery of the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin that the vandalized residence where bags of rice were located at Aurora was owned by a vendor that was contracted by Edo Can's Implementation Committee for the Christian Feeding Program. He noted that the Christian Feeding Program, in its second phase of distribution relief materials to vulnerable Christian groups, was funded by the state government with 2 billion naira. Lagos State Government has expressed appreciation to the protesters in Lagos for their peaceful conduct and their announcement of an end to their action following the broadcast by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR today. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu praised the leaders of the protest in Lagos, saying that your stoppage of the protest is a clear crystal clear affirmation of the fact that you know that your collective voice has been heard by the government. What you have done is not only noble, but the civilized thing to do. In demonstration of the Lagos State government's commitment to continuous engagement with the youth, the governor directed that despite the stoppage of the protest, the dialogue and engagement which the state government initiated prior to the action must continue. Consequently, the governor has directed Ministry of Youth and Social Development, Ministry of Information and Strategy, and Office of Civic Engagement to immediately open wider channels of engagement with various stakeholders, including the protest leaders. The Executive Council members in charge of the ministries can be reached on the following dedicated citizens access lines. Office of the Civic Engagement, +234 802 522 4347. On the Ministry of Information and Strategy, +234 811 96578. For the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, +234 707 717 8295. Now it is fit and proper to once again warn our citizens to be very vigilant. Those who seek to divide us are yet to give up. They may continue to post fake news via audio and other channels. Lagosians must never give room to warmongering, scaremongering, and rumor-mongering. That is not our way. That is not who we are. That is not our style. Mr. Sanwo-Olu once again praised Lagosians for rejecting anarchy and embracing peace. He praised the professional conduct of all security agencies, the Police Command, Department of State Services, the military, civil defense, and neighborhood watch. The governor notes that with great pride the roles of our traditional rulers, civil society organizations, community leaders, religious leaders, student leaders, and others who ensure that Lagos remain peaceful. He enjoined all Lagosians to continue their business without any fear whatsoever. And some reports in Kogi State saying the two officials of the Kogi State government, Abdul Salami Hudu and Omar Orisha, on Monday reported at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of corruption. The decision of the two officials of Kogi State government to report at the EFCC office may not be unconnected with media reports last week that the Federal High Court in Abuja had ordered the arrest of Hudu and Orisha over allegations of withdrawal of over 46 billion naira in cash from the Kogi State government's bank accounts. The order was reportedly granted by Justice Emeka Nwite on Tuesday in a motion ex parte filed by the EFCC. Unconfirmed reports have it that the decision of the two officials to report at the EFCC may also not be unconnected with the disposition of the Kogi State government to the line of law, thereby encouraging its officials to report at the EFCC despite not receiving any warrant or invitation from the Anti-Corruption Agency or any of its representatives. At the time of this report, the two officials, Hudu, the former cashier at the Kogi State Government House, and Oricha, the Director General of the Government House Administration, were seen at the headquarters of the EFCC in Abuja. Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang have announced the imposition of a 24-hour curfew on Jos Bukuru Metropolis effective from midnight of Sunday, August the 4th, 2024. The governor's order was conveyed through a press statement signed by the Director of Press and Public Affairs, Gyang Bene, North local government area and looted food items and other valuables before security agencies intervention to curtail escalation of the criminal act. Former military President General Ibrahim Babangida has dissociated himself from a post associating him to have endorsed the virtues of military rule over democratic governance. In a statement from his media office signed by Mahmoud Abdullahi in Mina, General Babangida reiterated his commitment to democratic rule rather than military, and therefore called on all Nigerians to not only embrace it, but to see to its success. The statement reads, "Our attention has been drawn to a parody account on X, formerly known as Twitter, which carries the handle at General IBBRO, in which former President Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida GCFR was of military rule over democratic governance. This dubious account carries our principal's picture and name and the coat of arms of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for added effect, but it does not belong to him, nor does the former president sanction any post appearing there. In the past, and more famously during the presidential elections, last year it posted a blatant falsehood that the former president has endorsed a particular presidential candidate and his party, thereby causing public confusion and some embarrassment to the elder statesman. We have just learned that it has posted a similar fake statement where the former president was supposed to have said Nigeria has the best years under military. Democracy made things worse. We want to state unequivocally that neither the Twitter or X or pretend account nor the statement made therein ever belonged to the retired general. For the avoidance of doubt, General Babangida, retired, believes that Nigeria's democracy is resilient and has come to stay, and that we must do everything we can to safeguard the process. As a nation, we are currently facing a number of challenges, but the former president has always expressed the view that we will eventually overcome these challenges and come out a stronger, more progressive nation. The solution to our problems, as he has said previously, is more democracy, not less. General Babangida truly believes that the era of military intervention in Nigeria's politics is long gone, and he has said how proud he is that the Nigerian military has stood firmly behind multiple democratic governments in this country since 1999, thus giving us the longest run of civilian administration. The user of this unfortunate parody account, which we gather was traditionally supposed to be an account that imitates or at least mirrors the sentiments of the original Twitter or X account that it copies, has serially chosen to use the account to undermine democracy and spread stories capable of causing animosity. Sadly, there seems very little we can do to make the overseers of X or Twitter to remove or sanction this tiresome account. So we are again obliged to advise the general public to ignore any post from this account that purportedly claims to represent my opinion, General Babangida declared. The statement advised me and social media users to be more discerning in future and make the necessary efforts to get confirmation before sharing messages attributed to former President Babangida on X or on any social media platform. Department of State Services, DSS operatives have arrested one of the leaders of the ongoing End Bad Governance protests in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Michael Lenin. According to reports, Lenin was picked up by the DSS around 2 a.m. on Monday at his residence in the Apo area of the FCT. The Director of Mobilization, Take It Back Movement, Damilare Aderola, said that Lenin's house was raided by the DSS, adding that the operatives also assaulted him during the raid. Lenin has been arrested by the DSS. He was around 2 a.m. He was arrested in the presence of his. We are demanding his immediate and unconditional release, Adenola told newsmen. Lenin is the national coordinator of the Youth Rights Campaign. He was one of the organizers who spoke at a press briefing, expressing statement with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. At the briefing, he said that the President's broadcast demonstrated that he is out of touch with reality in the country. He also said that the protest would continue massively on Monday, calling citizens to come out in large numbers. You're watching Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back shortly after this break. Please stay tuned.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their mind.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing. You human trafficker.
So no agreement with the EU, but
That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable
for a human
On the point.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
for a human
On the point.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
for a human
On the point.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
for a human
On the point.
They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
on the point of order.
Honorable
for a human
On the point. no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
no agreement with the EU, but
illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
no agreement with the EU, but
people into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human trafficker.
Honorable they are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
no agreement with the EU, but
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Report, Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. Now, President Bola Tinubu was vowed on Sunday morning that his government would not allow a small group with a political agenda to tear the nation apart. In a nationwide broadcast addressing the ongoing nationwide hunger protests, Tinubu emphasized his duty as president to maintain public order. In his words, in line with my constitutional oath to protect the lives and property of every citizen, government will not stand idly by and allow a few with a clear political agenda to tear this nation apart. Under the circumstances, I hereby enjoin protesters and to suspend any further protests and create room for dialogue which I have always acceded to at the slightest opportunity. Nigeria requires all hands on deck and needs us all, regardless of age, party, tribe, religion, or other divides, to work together in reshaping our destiny as a nation. To those who have taken undue advantage of this situation to threaten any section of the country, be warned, the law will catch up with you. There is no place for ethnic bigotry or such threats in the Nigeria we seek to build, he said. As he addressed the nation, Tinubu said that he was doing it with a heavy heart and a sense of responsibility, aware of the turmoil and violent protests unleashed in some of the states. Notably, among the protesters were young Nigerians who desired a better and more progressive country where their dreams, hopes, and personal aspirations would be fulfilled. I am especially pained by the loss of lives in Borno, Jigawa, Kano, and Kaduna, and states, and the destruction of public facilities in some states, and the wanton looting of supermarkets and shops, contrary to the promise of protest organizers that the protests will be peaceful across the country. The destruction of properties set us back as a nation, as scarce resources will be again used to restore them. I commiserate with the families and relations of those who have died in the protests. We must stop further bloodshed, violence, and destruction, he stated. According to the president, the nation's democracy progressed when the constitutional rights of every Nigerian were respected and protected, urging the law enforcement agencies to continue to ensure the full protection of lives and properties of innocent citizens in a responsible manner. The president added that his vision for the country was one of a just and prosperous nation where each person might enjoy the peace, freedom, and meaningful livelihood that only democratic good governance could provide. Tinubu lamented that for decades the nation's economy had remained anemic and taken a dip because of many misalignments that had stunted its growth. Just over a year ago, my dear country, Nigeria, reached a point where we couldn't afford to continue the use of temporary solutions to solve long-term problems for the sake of now and our unborn generations. Therefore, took the painful yet necessary decision to remove fuel subsidies and abolish multiple foreign exchange systems which had constituted a noose around the economic jugular of our nation and impeded our economic development and progress. These actions blocked the greed and the profits that smugglers and rent-seekers made. They also blocked the undue subsidies we had extended to our neighboring countries to the detriment of our people, rendering our economy prostrate. These decisions I made were necessary if we must reverse the decades of economic mismanagement that didn't serve us well. Yes, I agree the buck stops on my table, but I can assure you that I am focused fully on delivering governance to the people, good governance for that matter, he stated. Tinubu told Nigerians, especially the youths, that he had heard them loud and clear, understood the pain and frustration that drove the protests, saying, I want to assure you that our government is committed to listening and addressing the concerns of our citizens. But we must not let violence and destruction tear our nation apart. We must work together to build a brighter future where every Nigerian can with dignity and prosperity. He said the task before his government was a collective one and that he was leading the charge as president, as a lot of work has gone into stabilizing the economy, and he must stay focused on ensuring that the benefits reach every single Nigerian as promised. My administration is working very hard to improve and expand our national infrastructure and create more opportunities for our young people. Let nobody misinform and miseducate you about our country or tell you that your government does not care about you. Although there have been many dashed hopes in the past, we are in a new era of renewed hope. We are working hard and the results will soon be visible and concrete for everyone to see, feel and enjoy, he added. President Bola Tinubu says the 200 billion naira consumer credit corporation established by his administration would make life easier for millions of households. According to the press, the president said this in a nationwide broadcast on Sunday on the ongoing nationwide protests. He said the aim of the scheme was to help Nigerians acquire essential products, consequently reduce the corruption and eliminate cash and opaque transactions. This week, I ordered the release of an additional 50 billion naira each for NEL Fund, the student loan and credit corporation from the proceeds of crime recovered by the EFCC. Additionally, we have secured $620 million under the Digital and Creative Enterprises, a program to our young people, creating millions of IT and technical jobs that will make them globally competitive. These programs include 3 million technical talent scheme. Unfortunately, one of the digital centers was vandalized during the protests in Kano. What a shame, he said. In addition, he said the government had introduced the Skill Up Artisans program, the Nigeria Youth Academy, and the National Youth Talent Export Program. He also said that more than 570 billion naira has been released to the 36 states to expand livelihood support to their citizens, while 600,000 nano businesses had benefited from nano grants. He stated that an additional 400,000 nano businesses were expected to benefit from the program. Furthermore, 75,000 beneficiaries have been processed to receive 1 million naira micro and small business single-digit interest loans starting this month. We have also built 10 MSME hubs within the past year, created 240,000 jobs through them, and 5 more hubs are in progress, which will be ready by October this year, he said. According to Tinubu, payments of 1 billion naira each are also being made to large manufacturers under single-digit loans to boost manufacturing output and stimulate growth. Following widespread clamor against hunger and hardship in the country, the federal government said it has released 570 billion naira to 36 states to expand livelihood support to their citizens. President Bola Tinubu, while addressing the country on Sunday, also disclosed that 9.1 trillion naira was accumulated as total fiscal revenue to the federal government's coffers during the first half of 2024, marking a significant increase from what was earned by the previous administration. Also, more than 570 billion naira has been released to the 36 states to expand livelihood support to their citizens, while 600,000 nano businesses have benefited from our nano grants. An additional 400,000 more nano businesses are expected to benefit, the president stated. The president explained that there had been a reduction in Nigeria's debt burden, with revenue on debt service declining from 97% in 2023 to 68% in 2024. He said the country had cleared legitimate outstanding foreign exchange obligations of about $5 billion without any adverse impact on our programs. According to the president, the debt reduction has provided the country with greater financial freedom on essential social services such as education and healthcare. Despite Nigeria's abundant oil and gas resources, he noted that his administration met a country that was not only dependent only on oil, but also neglected its gas resources while subsidizing the cost of fuel. This, he said, informed his administration's investment in compressed natural gas. Fellow Nigerians, we are a country blessed with both oil and gas resources, but we met a country that has been dependent solely on oil-based petrol, neglecting its gas resources to power the economy. We were also using our hard-earned foreign exchange to pay for and subsidize its use. To address this, we immediately launched our compressed natural gas initiative to power our transportation economy and bring costs down. This will save over 2 trillion naira a month being used to import PMS and AGO and free up our resources for more investments in healthcare and education, Tinubu stated. Also, during the broadcast on Sunday, Tinubu said his administration was ready to listen and address the concerns of protesters involved in the nationwide protest that started on August the 1st, 2024. On the revenue increase in the first half of the year, the president said that it was due to efforts in blocking leakages, introducing automation, and mobilizing funding creatively, all without placing an additional burden on the people. He said productivity in the non-oil sector is gradually increasing, reaching new levels and capitalizing on the opportunities presented by the current economic environment. He said in the past 14 months, our government has made significant strides in rebuilding the foundation of our economy to carry us into a future of plenty and abundance. On the fiscal side, aggregate government revenues have more than doubled, hitting over 9.1 trillion naira in the first half of the 2024 compared to the first half of 2023 due to our efforts at blocking leakages, introducing automation and mobilizing funding creatively without additional burden on the people. Productivity is gradually increasing in the non-oil sector, reaching new levels and taking advantage of the opportunities in the current economic ambience, Tinubu said. He said his administration will distribute 1 million kits of extremely low or no cost to commercial vehicles that transport people and goods, and who currently consume 80% of the imported petrol and diesel. We have started the distribution of conversion kits and setting up of conversion centers across the country in conjunction with the private sector. We believe that this CNG initiative will reduce transportation costs by approximately 60% and help to curb inflation, Tinubu disclosed. While licensed individuals have been importing diesel into the country, the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited remains the sole importer of petrol into the country. Despite being the largest oil producer in Africa, Nigeria depends on imported petroleum products due to low refining capacity. The federal government has called for the adoption of enhanced soil health practices and climate-smart agriculture to improve the nation's food and nutrition security. Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Aliu Abdullahi, said at the 48th Annual Conference of the Soil Science Society of Nigeria with the theme Soil Health and Climate Smart Agriculture for Resilient Food Security System, held at the National Center for Women Development in Abuja, that the nation cannot afford to lag behind in adopting smart agricultural practices. He revealed that soil health and climate smart agriculture are pivotal to the establishment of resilient food security systems, adding that soil health is the foundation of sustainable agriculture, while climate-smart farming is essential for adapting to climate change. Senator Abdullahi stressed that soil has become the world's most vulnerable resource as a result of climate change and land degradation, adding that the consequences of these twin problems were profound, affecting ecosystem services, including food security, water quality, availability, human health, and the livelihood of many citizens. In his words, addressing soil degradation and climate change is a fundamental challenge for sustainable agriculture. Climate change poses an even greater challenge to our arable land, as was noted by our dear President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in his speech at the 78th United Nations General Assembly. Northern Nigeria is hounded by desert encroachment on once arable land. Our south is pounded by the rising tide of the coastal flooding and erosion. In the middle, the rainy season brings floods that kill and displace multitudes. The minister emphasized that all these challenges require not just a change in tactics and approach, but also the injection of new knowledge, innovations, skills, techniques, technology, and value orientation. He stated that the solutions to the problems are within our reach. The solutions include climate-smart practices such as conservation, tillage, and cover cropping, agroforestry and reforestation, the cultivation of climate-resilient crops and livestock, integrated pest management and nutrient management. Speaking further, the minister revealed that the ministry is currently promoting the Nigeria Farmers Soil Health Card Scheme as a key priority and significant intervention for sustainable agriculture. Abdullahi noted that the NFSHCS would achieve improved soil health and fertility, increase agricultural productivity and resilience, enhance food security and nutrition, reduce greenhouse gas emissions and carbon sequestration, improve livelihoods and income for small-scale farmers, amongst others. He therefore called for a strong collaboration and synergy that would support the success of the initiative, noting that together we have the power to create a resilient food security system that would benefit everyone. And viewers, this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network right here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Raymond Ken Mbata. Stay connected on our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on X, formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net, or watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you for watching.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable They are not picking our calls. They made up their
So no agreement with the